guys, Skolzy here, back with another topical commentary over a Black Ops gameplay, and today's gameplay is going to be on Raid, and today's top player is I Am Connor, going in at 51-0, but that's besides the point. Today's topical commentary is the one-hit knockout, and if you remember me saying in the last commentary, which was first fight, that was basically about my fight, my first one, and this one is about a story that I didn't actually witness it. It was happened to a friend of mine by another friend of mine from secondary school, and basically it's what the title says. It's the one-hit knockout. I thought I'd share it with you guys because the story is pretty epic, and all these stories slash topics that I am bringing up or discussions, they are true factual stories and they did happen. So basically what happened was it was a summer day, and one of our friends from secondary school would tend to come round now and again. And I'm not going to name names for this because I don't want to put people to shame and I don't want to put people out there. But basically, something got out of hand. I don't even know how the situation arose. We was up by the shop, and I think one thing led to another. Maybe it started off with a bit of banter and someone got rude and the other person didn't take it too kindly. Bearing in mind that we're all friends at this stage, I don't know what happened. It could have been a bit of a joke and the second party took it too far, and basically this guy, he was a small guy, but he's pretty strong, and he's got this sort of punch that he does, and if you remember from Tekken, Paul's style of punch where he stands firm and backs up and like loads up his punch, and then all of a sudden just a burst of energy just comes out and punches you. And this is basically this guy's style of hitting. And I've felt one of these punches before, and it's one of those punches that where you think you can handle it at the start, but the next day you really do feel it. And God knows how this guy must have felt, my friend, when he received this punch. And basically what he done was, it's not even just a sort of stance where he just stands there. He sort of swivels his body around and builds up the power and just releases it all in this one energy and swings back and just lays into you. And but I've never seen him in an actual full adrenaline fight where he's just going and going and going. This one punch just seemed to do it, and I don't know whether it was intentional. Well, I'm guessing it was not, but he actually caught my mate in the temple and laid him out in one punch, and it was pretty severe. I'm not even going to stress how severe it was. My friend had to go to hospital. He had surgery, corrective surgery for his head. He's now got a big scar, and props to him for I'm so glad he came out of it okay. Everyone was extremely worried about him, and it must have been a really massive ordeal for him to go through, because not only did he have the sort of shame of getting taken down in one punch, but like just being worried about it. He had his family being worried for him, his friends, everything. He was like young in school, a lot to live for basically. So, and then the fact like to be getting taken down by one punch, and then rumours started spiralling out of hand that basically he took the punch and he was okay from the punch, and he went home and he told his dad about the ordeal because he didn't fight back. So, well, obviously he couldn't if he got laid out in one punch, but the rumours started off that he went home and told his dad about the situation, what happened, that he got punched by this kid and he didn't do nothing about it, and apparently his dad was the one who punched him. This is what people were saying. It was stupid nonsense rumours. And the fact that my friend started getting gifts from quite high price ranges, like that he was getting for that at that time, he was getting like new games consoles, new clothes, everything. And so everyone was sort of saying that it's a sort of sympathy buy, that because his dad done that and he feels guilty that they're buying him all this brand new stuff. But that wasn't the case. His dad would never do that. I know his dad for ages, and his dad's not that type of guy. He's a big guy, and believe me, he could probably lay his son out in one punch. He could probably lay anyone out because of just how hefty he is with the muscle and that. But there's no way in this lifetime that he would have done that to his son. And the fact is as well that I know my mate could have a ruck as well. I'm not trying to big anyone up for any sort of reason, but I know he can fight because of a situation that he had with another one of... I wouldn't even class him as a friend now, because I had a bit of trouble with him as well, and I didn't like the kid in the end. But like, we had our close circle of friends around our area, and every now and then an outsider, I guess you could say, would be brought in by someone from around the group or around the area that we'd hung out with. And this was one of those situations where this kid came in, and he just felt comfortable all of a sudden for some reason, and like started going on using people's stuff without like he'd known them for ages, and it wasn't really acceptable. And he got rude to my friend who got knocked out by the first kid. I'm sorry if you're getting a bit confused by this. My friend wasn't having none of it. Like, he was just like, no, I'm not going to fight you. I don't want to fight you. I'm not like that. And so he went inside his house. And this kid was persistent in the fact that he thought he could knock him out. Or not even just that, he could beat him in a fight, let's say. So he pursued him and went to his house. And literally, it was across the road from where he was anyway. So my friend had got into his house. He wasn't even scared. He wasn't running or nothing like that. He literally just walked over to his house, was like, I'm not having none of this. Not interested in fighting. Because that's not the sort of guys we were. We weren't there to prove anything. We were just there to have a laugh, kick ball. You know, it is like when you're chilling out on the streets or whatever with your friends, having a laugh. But this one kid wanted to prove something for some reason. So he pursued him to his house and was like standing at his front door. Bearing in mind, my mate's front door was sort of always open because he had one of those gates in front of his house anyway, in front of his doorway. So he's at the front door, like, sort of calling him out, calling him a pussy, saying he would never fight him and that. So my mate just comes out and he's like, look, he didn't even say nothing. He just came out and put this kid on his ass. And the kid was in shock. And I can't even, like, he had just the expression on his face. I think he was just purely shocked. And for some reason, he felt like, well, he was trying to say that he got caught off guard. So when my mate was walking away again, he started calling him out again and was like, no, I wasn't even ready. I mean, how can you be ready? Like, it happens. You should be ready. If you're expecting something like that and you're pursuing something like that, you should be ready for that encounter. So my mate came back and done it again. He literally, I'm not even joking, threw him over his shoulder and onto the floor. And this kid must have been, the only reason I can assume why he pursued the fight with my mate is because my mate he was really skinny at the time. And like quite a few of us, we were quite sort of slim guys. And he must have just thought, because the kid wasn't even that big himself, but he must have just thought that he could handle him. And I think where a load of people around the area assumed that my friend was the weakest of the bunch, I think that's why he specifically targeted him. So after this happened, the kid got a massive graze or a sort of bump down the side of his face, and everyone was like going on about it. And around the area, like the people that we didn't really hang about with, but we knew them through school and that, because a load of us went to the same school, and he was trying to blame it on that he fell off his BMX, which everyone knew was nonsense. But because he sort of hung about with quite a few from around the area, like he got into all different circles, they were believing the story and buying it, which we all knew was a load of bollocks. So and then later on throughout the year, the guy tried to have an encounter with me, and like I said in my last video, I'm not a fighting type of guy, but when this guy was trying to bring something to me, I wasn't going to have it, because he tried to say that I was afraid as well. And he brought up old shit from the past. I'll probably tell you about it in another commentary. It was about a time where I got mugged, but that's another story. And things got out of hand and literally ended up with, I'm not even bragging, about 5 people holding me down on the floor because I was so angry that I wanted to get to this kid so bad. And everyone tried to call me, like say that he would fight me when he was the one who ran out the house, because he could just see how angry I was. But I'll probably save that one for another story as well. But I hope you have enjoyed this, guys. Please keep coming back for more of these topical commentaries. Rate, comment, subscribe. It really helps out our channel and we really appreciate it. We love you all for that. Thanks a lot.